what to tell you about that, man. I'm having a long month. I'm trying not to take my own life, so I just want to get these photos. I'd love to talk a little bit about shame, man, because that was a huge part of my life.
Well, tell me about it.
I just felt ashamed of myself.
Yeah.
I felt ashamed of I felt ashamed of how I looked. I felt ashamed of like my ears, my nose, my face, the way I stood. I felt, I felt ashamed of my family, of my home. Everything. I just felt a ton of it. I'm not whining about it right now. I'm just thinking back, but yeah, I just felt a ton of shame. You know, I think I felt ashamed of who I was at like the first molecule almost, like the first cell of my, the dirt under the roots. It felt like there was a part of me that I felt like I was me, or anything that had to do with me was gross.
On the evening of September 27, 2025, Theo Von took the stage at New York's Beacon Theater to tape his upcoming Netflix special. What should have been a celebratory moment in his career quickly became a source of concern among fans and observers as reports and clips from the night spread across social media. By most online accounts, the set did not go well. Audience members described sparse laughter, awkward pacing, and stretches where the energy in the room seemed to collapse. Several attendees reportedly walked out before the show ended. The atmosphere came to a head in one widely shared clip in which Theo, looking disheveled, muttered, "I've tried not to take my own life," as people filtered toward the exits. For many who saw the video, it was a deeply unsettling moment that blurred the line between failed joke and personal confession. The context of Theo Von's career and life made this incident resonate more strongly. He has spoken openly for years about his struggles with mental health, his battles with addiction, and his efforts to remain sober. Those admissions, often framed with dark humor, have been a central part of his podcast appearances and stand-up routines.
If someone else spoke to me the way that I speak to myself, I'd have to kill that son of a bitch because, I couldn't tolerate that. I don't know why we're just so mean to ourselves, man. I don't know why I get so addicted to things. I'm even addicted to damn nasal spray. That's about the hardest thing I've had to kick, to be honest with you.
Man, I appreciate your honesty here. Yeah, look, I had a non-addictive nasal spray that I had for a while that, sometimes I'd pull up, if I was going to a bar or something, I'd do a hit in each nose before I'd go in. It didn't even do anything to me. It gave me a little bit of a flashback of probably doing a drug or something, and just kind of heightened my senses in a weird way. But yeah, man, I'm sorry that you are so mean to yourself. And I don't mean that as a reflection of who you are, because I know, like me, you don't want to be. You don't want to be.
While honesty about these subjects has earned him admiration, it has also made fans acutely sensitive to signs that he may be struggling in real time. This was not the first recent incident that raised eyebrows. Earlier in the year, Theo was involved in an altercation in Nashville that led to a misdemeanor assault complaint after he was filmed grabbing another man by the throat. Although not career-ending, the episode added fuel to speculation about his mental and emotional state. It painted a picture of a comedian under pressure, with behavior increasingly at odds with the easygoing, self-deprecating persona that made him popular.
Hey, I'm the fan who got choked out by Theo Von. Let me tell you what actually happened. So I'm not just a random fan. I live in Nashville. I play music full time. That's me. All of this happened on May 2nd. You can see right there. Which also happened to be my birthday. I had my gig from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. My friends brought me cake. They brought me balloons. The bar brought me sparklers. So when Theo walked in, he didn't have any security with him. So people were walking up to him, talking to him, taking photos. I finished my show. This was like 10:18. Nobody in my party had talked to him yet, not even me. We thought it would be a funny video idea to get him and me popping my birthday balloons together because he's a comedian. I was trying to be courteous because he was talking to somebody at the moment. So in this next video, you can actually hear me say, I don't want to interrupt their conversation. I was waiting my turn to talk to him. Everybody was all just standing around, having fun, having a good time. This is where the video that you've seen starts. I went up and I said, will you pop some balloons with me? He turned away and looked like I said something offensive. I leaned in and said, hey man, I'm a fan, I'm just messing with you. He turned back around and then aggressively got in my face right there. I was confused, so you can see me lean in and say, "What?" And that's when he grabbed my throat and shoved me back. What happened was a completely uncalled for reaction, especially when you consider the facts that nobody in my party had been badgering him for hours. We hadn't even talked to him. This was a 14-second interaction, and that was it. As an entertainer in downtown Nashville, I get being overwhelmed by crowds and people coming up to you all the time. At the end of my shift, at least I get to unplug and go home. And, I feel for Theo where he probably can't get away from that a lot more easily than I can.
Theo also made headlines when he stepped away from the King and the Sting podcast, a move many believed would improve his mental health. The show, while successful, had become a strain on him, and fans hoped that leaving it behind would allow him to focus on his well-being. Yet the Beacon Theater performance suggests that the challenges persist, raising questions about how sustainable his current path is and whether he is received from the taping reflects a divided audience. Some treated the night simply as a professional failure, a comedian bombing at the worst possible moment in front of Netflix cameras. Others, more aware of Theo's history, saw it as a cry for help. Still others combined disappointment with compassion, lamenting both the weak performance and the troubling glimpse into his state of mind.
Yeah, like, man, people really are struggling.
Yeah.
Do you think that one of the reasons a lot of young men are struggling is because just like the way we've changed from being like really like limbic, like things we need to do, hunt, get milk, get honey, get, meat, attack stuff, do stuff, be there, connected to the earth. And then now we've become this separate sort of just, it's almost like we're just like a strong thing that's
we're house cats
being contained. Yeah.
We're indoor cats now. So
it's fucking scary.
It is difficult to know how much weight to put on viral clips and social chatter. Short, decontextualized moments can distort reality, and a poor night on stage does not define an entire career. Still, when placed against Theo Von's well-documented struggles with addiction, mental health, and recent controversies, the reaction is understandable. Fans and fellow comedians alike are now left wondering what the future holds for a performer who has made his vulnerabilities part of his art, and who may now be facing one of his most vulnerable chapters yet. If you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of self-harm, it is important to seek help immediately. In the United States, you can dial or text 988 to connect with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you are outside the U.S., please reach out to local emergency services or a trusted mental health resource in your area.